It's been a few weeks since we last spoke to you. Not too much to report. Obviously, we know that there are restrictions in place around, but two important news items: the re-signing of Scott Cashkett and Adebayo Akinfenwa.
Yeah, when we had that release day back in the at the end of the season, it was difficult for me. I had to pick and choose, the players that I wanted to keep. I wanted to keep them all, a lot more, and as I've said previously in pieces. But the ones that we wanted to do. Scotty Cashkett, I thought was awesome. In the second half of the season, really came to and saw glimpses of we know what he can be. He's a constant threat to players, a great character to have around the place, and he made a big contribution in those last games when we were fighting for survival. Alongside Adebayo Akinfenwa, which again, what can I say about him that we haven't said already? Culturally, an absolute leader. And as well as that, scoring some fantastic goals, important goals. Didn't get as many as he wanted to this year. Missed a couple of games as he's getting older and he's needed to be managed more. But I thought both of those would be very important to try and keep. It was a tough decision, but Bale with his goal tally, I think 48 goals in 3 seasons is fantastic. Something that you look at and think if it wasn't for him, would we be here? The answer is probably no. But he'll say, as well as that, the players around him, like your Scotties and the others that we're trying to bring in, they all played their part, and it's fantastic news that we can bring both of those players in. The squad's coming together. We're still very small on numbers, and as I've said, don't expect too many more signings at the moment. We are going to be at the back of the queue on a lot of things, and probably waiting for some loans to come out. But to get those two over the line was really important, and I'm really pleased that they're both here next year.
The supporters have obviously seen and read a lot about the budget cuts and the limitations going forward, but they're trying to make their part. The 500 Club has been reintroduced, and a phenomenal uptake. I think £40,000 in the first 3 or 4 days.
Just blown me away, absolutely blown me away. This club just never ceases to surprise me. We asked them in our first couple of years to help out, and they did. And we felt we were asking a bit too much of the supporters sometimes, and I think last year we didn't ask them for that very reason. We wanted to try and survive on our own bat, and we did, and it's great, but we need them again, and they're there. They're there. They put their hands in their pockets. I've had messages from fans who know me personally saying, I'm in, I know you, we trust you, we know what you can do, and we still believe, even with the cuts we've had, we still believe we can compete at this level, and here's a little bit of money to help you do that. And do you know what? It makes so much difference, and sometimes not the cash, but the support. That's out there, and so thank you to everyone who's pledged money, and it will go a long way into maybe getting the next Fred Onyedinma, the next Alfie Mawson, the next Eberici easy, because they're out there. It's just now a case of finding them, being at the right place, the right time, the right queue, the right financial and the right circumstances. But we're working really hard. All my staff are in today, trying to make sure that we're right for the first day of pre-season, but more importantly, the first day of the season.
Yeah, momentum's starting to build now. We obviously get the fixtures coming out on Thursday, the cup draw, and a chance to get stuck into another pre-season. Were your 7th or 8th now as manager, wasn't it? But is the enthusiasm still as strong as ever?
Yeah, I used to hate them as players, but as a manager, it's great. The summer's gone quick, believe me. The summer has gone quick. It's been nice to spend some time with the family and go away with Donna. That was nice. And things don't really happen. You're always panicking, thinking, am I the last club to sign someone? Have we signed anyone? Have we got anyone in? And believe me, it all pans out before the start of that season and that first game comes along. And even then, I think we've got till September the 3rd for the transfer window. So again, I think we signed Dominic Gape and Scott Cashkett on the deadline day in August one year, and look what great players they've gone on to be. So again, a bit of patience, which we'll get. But yeah, pre-season, it'll be Dave Waits and Keane. They run the majority of it, getting the lads fit, getting them ready for the season, and the games are thick and fast. We've got 5 good games, starting with Barnet on the 13th, and again, as usual, there was some trialists in there. There was some familiar faces. I'm not sure if there'll be an old manager making an appearance. I hope not, but you never know with the numbers we got this year. But just looking forward to getting everyone back now, seeing where they are. They're a great bunch, and I'm looking forward to getting my teeth stuck into another season.
And finally, obviously, the football world was rocked at the start of June. The news of a fellow manager, Justin Edinburgh, passing away so suddenly. I know that came as a huge shock to anyone involved in football, and someone that's gone up against him, both on the pitch and in the dugout. That must have been hard to hear.
Yeah. You know, awful news. I was away when I found the news. Kelly actually texted me the news for the secretary, and a big bombshell for me reading the text message that Justin had died, and you know, great guy. Obviously leaves a fantastic legacy there at Leyton Orient. What an achievement to get him back in the Football League. But so sad news, and thoughts go to his friends and family at this time, and you know. I'm sure he'll be remembered in the right way, and like I say, fantastic opponent and fantastic guy, going to be sorely missed.